Hi and welcome to another game video, and in today's video I'm going to show you if you've recently opened your PSP and when you put it back together your right D-pad button doesn't work properly. I'm going to show you how you can fix that. So if you've been following my saga with this PSP, you'll know that I bought it about 6 months ago. It was completely dead. It was hard bricked, which I've managed to undo. The screen cable was loose, which I've fixed and put back in, but I had a problem where the right button on the D-pad just wouldn't press properly. It was really clunky. It seemed quite sunken in, and it is a simple fix. So if you have had your PSP open, then reopen it, take the front panel off, and you will see that this board here, it goes into the side of the screen housing, and I don't know if you can quite make that out, but there and there are two little cutouts in the side of the screen housing, and on this board, which is your D-pad board, there are two little sort of legs, and they sit in those two crevices, and that's what keeps the board in its position. And if you've recently taken the screen off or changed the screen housing, you may have put this board too far down and it's gone underneath the screen housing, which then causes the buttons not to work and seem quite sunk in. So if you have, just make sure that this board here is sitting in the two little sort of metal openings on the side of the screen housing. So it's one is there and one is there, and then you'll see that the board itself actually looks kind of raised upwards rather than pointing downwards, which it would have done before. So I'm now going to just put this back together. See, it will need screwing back together once this is all complete. My battery is dead, so I do have to keep that on charge for now. Make sure that is all back together, and you'll see that the buttons are nice and raised. I noticed that mine were quite sunken. I've got another PSP and it just didn't feel the same as it did on this one. We can turn that on. And you will see that the buttons now are so much more responsive than they were, even the right hand button. Which before I would have to really press in and it would click and it just wouldn't work most of the time. The up button wasn't very responsive either, but now these are absolutely perfect. So if you've got a PSP that you've probably recently been inside and now the buttons, the D-pad buttons don't work as well as they should, that is, or that could be your problem. The board underneath for the D-pad may just be clipped in the wrong place, so just make sure it's clipped in the side of the screen housing and not being caught underneath, because that will push it down and then your buttons will not work and they will sink. These are quite pronounced, whereas they were very sunken previously. That is it, and that is probably the final video on this PSP. I have unhard bricked it and I have repaired the screen cable, because that was, well, that had lost its retaining clip, so underneath mine is some tape to keep it in place. And the final thing that just bugged me was that this right hand button didn't work very well. But as you can see now, it's absolutely fine. So I've now got a fully working PSP, and if you've got problems with your D-pad buttons, then hopefully this will help you too. Like, subscribe, enjoy.